What up everyone, it's your man XMan87 here, bringing you another top 10 video, and what I have for you today is my top 10 favorite Marvel Legends repaints, reissues, redos, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. Look, this video is just for fun. I just want to hang out with you guys, so we'll just kick it, talk some toys, talk some topics within the toys. So before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Now you're probably saying, Manny, why are you entertaining repaints when you hate repaints? No, I don't hate repaints completely as long as they are done right. When Hasbro does this right, like this Captain America right here, they usually knock them out of the park. So I understand that reuse is a business model. It's always been that way, and I understand. It's when it's overly abused, like the Bucky Cap mold here, or any other bodies that are 10 years old or close to, is when it's a problem. So just to clear it out the way, when it's a first time reuse, second, or any small quantity like that, then it's okay. The only time I don't accept it when it's like a first time reuse is part of a HasLab. For example, the last HasLab with the Robbie Reyes Hellcharger using Longshot's body. Come on. As something part of the main offering, it should never be a reuse. To me, the main offer of a expensive HasLab should be all new sculpting. No questions about it. And that's not even like the figure was a tier. You know, that was part of the main offering. So, because the figure was a part of that main offering with all the other accessories it came with. When it comes to tiers, I get it. Repaints, that's fine. It's tiers, you know. But when we get treated to all new scopes like that Morgue, that was pretty freaking cool. Because I want my $350 plus to $400 purchase justified. So I'll go over honorable mentions in a few, but some of you wondered why I didn't put the likes of Hulk or Iron Man or Captain America in my top 10 comic list. It's because, well, they were in previous top 10 lists, so I don't like to repeat characters in my top 10s. I like to keep it fresh, you know what I mean? So for me, putting Hulk, who was in my 2019 top 10 comic list, I want to say, it would just feel redundant if I just added him into the 2022 top 10 when there were so many other figures with new sculpts that just deserve this spot. Now, if we're talking about a comic Venom on the Omega Red body mold, which it's something everyone demanded, right? Such as myself, then that's when I make the exception, because we all demanded it. Not everyone was demanding a Captain America in a different shade of blue or another Hulk in a different shade of green. You know what I mean? I'm sure there was some people that probably wanted a Captain America in a lighter blue, but nowhere near the demand as this. You know what I mean? So yeah, just wanted to show some love to the figures that I didn't include in my top 10 or didn't find the time to review. Anyways, enough talking. Let's get into some honorable mentions, and I think I want to put this Red Skull as one of my honorable mentions from the Disney Plus wave, because this head is so good. It serves as a great comic head for the comic Red Skull. So if I was to pop this on, it is loose, I will say that, but if you lift it up a bit, yeah, it's a little bit sturdier here. So just gonna zoom in on that so you can see. So yeah, man, look at that. It looks great. Man, I love that look. I feel like the skin tone on the neck matches the head pretty well. So this gives me another option to display a Red Skull comic figure, because the animated look passes for that. And the next honorable mention would be the Black Hand Ninja. And I really, really like the way this came out. I think it has better paint, and I like it more than the red one, I have to say. I really do appreciate that they fixed the head right here as it sits lower, so you can see the hood resting on his chest right there, where this one was lifted. So yeah, this was a good army builder. They should offer up more on Pulse. I ended up liking this Killmonger way more than I thought I would. I really enjoyed him. I really like the way the blue pops too. But main reason is, man, the head swapping with the Infinity Ultron. So in that episode where he donned the armor, you could just swap the head with this, and you get that you can remove the cape also. And you get to recreate that scene, and I think this just looks so good. gotta say, I really, really like this head sculpt more. I got Ragnarok next on my honorable mentions list because he just looks so damn cool. I really love the cyborg head right there and the all cyborg hand. Originally, he was supposed to come with a torn flesh hand with some cyborg parts showing, and unfortunately that got cut, so that sucks. But I really do love this spinning Mjolnir effect. This is absolutely beautiful. I actually like it more than the Marvel Selects one. I think the scriptures shouldn't be visible if it's spinning. You know, it should be flat like on the other side. I do like the other head it comes with without the cyborg dripped face. It's got the nice red eyes. But they should have included a regular Thor head just so that those who missed out on the 80 Years Thor can have one with this one. And next I got the MCU Winter Soldier because the last one came with some cartoony guns. And, you know, the faces needed to be updated, especially with their new face print tech that they've been using. This head sculpt is absolutely gorgeous. Just wish he had a head with the goggles attached to the face guard here. Then we have Ulik the Troll, or Ulik the Troll, however you want to pronounce it. You know, I'm not going to act like I know how to pronounce his name. So I'm just going to call him Ulik the Troll. And this is a repaint, a redo, whatever, from the San Diego Comic-Con 2017 version. And it's just so much better. My God, it is so much better. I like the color scheme more. I like that they added his necklace. We get some new things added on, like these open hands and a weapon. You know, he has a weapon, which we didn't get the first time. And look at that head sculpt. It's beautiful. We get 2 head sculpts. This is how you do a repaint, man. This is how you do it right. You add some new parts to it to make it more exciting than the original release. Yeah, Ulik, definitely an honorable mention. And my last honorable mention would be this Marvel vs. Capcom inspired War Machine. It looks absolutely beautiful. I love those new effects so much. And I love that kind of silvery bluish tint on his armor. It looks so good. It's a beautiful figure. Like I said before, this is just a fun video to engage with you guys. So you're not going to see my usual edited countdown because I don't really have any numbers for these, so none of these are going to be in order, but I will say my number 1 is my number 1 for sure. Also, a rule I made for myself to stick to on this list is that these figures, these repaints, redos, reissues, again, whatever you want to call them, are from figures that came out in previous years. It's not going to be like the one figure that got a repaint in 2022, such as the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man, that in the same year came out with 2 different versions. So at number 10, I'm not going in order, so I'm just gonna grab whatever figure, and I have to give it to the Invisible Woman here, because this is something I've always wanted, is just a pure, clear version of Invisible Woman, and this looks fantastic, man. Complements her power set. I love this. This is awesome. And we can't forget how hideous that Sue Storm head sculpt was in that Fantastic Four wave. Them reusing this head here. Thankfully, we don't have to see her in John Cena mode. Then at number 9, I have the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. I thought this was a great repack, reissue. They really knocked it out the park here with giving us multiple hands, multiple guns, multiple heads. It was just an army builder done right. I mean, I don't know how much more can you ask for in terms of accessories, but this is greatly done. If I bring out one of the older bodies, and I have one of the heads included with this army builder pack, as they included 3 different heads of 3 different ethnicities. Let me just move this over. I have them on the older bodies, as you can see here, because I have a lot of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents on my shelf. So this is great. This has a dirtier wash and a darker blue. So I do like the blue on this one more. If this had the same blue as this, even though I like this one better, it just would have kept everything consistent. And the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent logos are different too. The red helmets, the silver helmets, you can even put some of these helmets on the Quake figure to have some female helmeted soldiers. I do want the female soldiers next to be offered up in a dual pack like this, because this was great, man. I know it's on the Bucky Cat mold, but I want to take the time to engage with you guys. So I have a question of the day for you. Do you mind the Bucky Cat mold on army builders? Now, for me, I know some of you might not mind the Bucky Cat mold being just for army builders only, right? But this is just where I'm coming from. As an influencer, or whatever you want to call that, label me whatever you want, content creator, I cannot entertain the Bucky Cat mold anymore, even if it is for army builders. I just can't entertain it anymore. I understand where some of you guys might not mind it being for army builders only, like keep this body only for army builders, but I just don't want to entertain it anymore. It should not be entertained at all. Like, we're seeing it reused again in 2023 with Orb and the Dr. Spectrum figure, which some of you or most of you may not care about those characters at all. But the fact that we're still getting that body, you gotta say, man, it's 2023. It's an 11-year-old mold. It's enough already. It's enough. It's being shoved down our throats for so long. We've choked on it. I would love to see army builders with some new sculpts, but unfortunately, that's going to be a rare occasion where we get an army builder with a new sculpt. But yeah, these shield agents were a ton of fun because of all the accessory inclusions. At number 8, I have Scorpion, because this is originally the colors I wanted the first time he was released, and with the flesh mouth exposed, so it just looks so much better that way. I've always loved the bendy wired tail on this. I love how long it is, so you can coil it around Spider-Man. You know, I feel like that is a main attraction for a Scorpion figure to do that. I just wish, and I even said it in my original Scorpion review, I didn't review this one because I don't like to, normally I don't like to review repaints. I don't, so I'll find a way to talk about them, whether it's a reveal or something, just to be a part of the conversation with you guys. But I remember saying that I would love to have seen an acid spray effect connected here. That to me is super important. So it's like they passed with this repaint, but they failed at the same time. Because you passed because you gave us the right colors, the right head, that stuff. You failed by not adding more to it, just a new head sculpt. And we should have had alternate hands. Scorpion should also have wall crawling hands, no doubt. This guy would definitely benefit from toe articulation too. So yeah, they definitely could have added more to it. Overall, I'm still happy with the Scorpion. I love it way more than the last one. I sold the last one. It's like not even in my collection anymore because I wanted this. I only need one Scorpion in my collection. So let me know if you agree with me, and please feel free to share your ideas of anything else they could have added to Scorpion. At number 7, I have Beast. I love the way they redid this. I love the blue and the extra shaded bits that they added to this figure. I like that they painted his claws, his toenails and all that, and they gave him some new lab accessories. I like that flask that says X-Gene. They gave him the glasses, they gave him a stoic head, and a soft goods lab coat. It's just so nice. Overall, I'm super happy with this offer. It's a way better offer than the 2019 version. At number 6 is the Spider-Man Retro Wave Symbiote Spider-Man. How can I not? This is my favorite alternate Spider-Man costume, and it just looks so good. What I did was put the older Spider-Man that has the dot on the web patches right there. They kept it on the retro body because at this point I don't think the Renew Your Vows body was revealed yet. So it would have been nice to see this on the Renew Your Vows body. Although they are coming out with that animated series 2-pack with Carnage that has the cell shading. So that might be a mixed reaction because depending how you perceive that blue cell shading and how it's placed in the areas, you're either gonna like it or you're gonna hate it. To me, since it's blue, I think it's gonna be passable. We'll see. I'll wait to get it in hand. I like to keep an open mind. So that one will obviously be pinless and have the toe joints and stuff. And Since I mentioned pinless, how do you guys really feel about pinless? Because for me, you guys know I advocate for pinless because I love how it smooths out the aesthetics. It always gives it that kind of import feel, and that's something I've always loved about import figures is how smooth their figures look. You know, if you watch my older Marvel Legends reviews, I didn't clamor for pinless. I was fine with pins because I was already used to it. But, you know, having them roll out with it and seeing how much better the Marvel Legends figures look with pinless, oh my god, makes a big difference. I got spoiled with it, I'm not gonna lie. And, you know, I was there at Toy Fair when they revealed their pinless tech. And I just feel like they got to follow through with it. You know what I mean? You committed to the update. Follow through with it. I know some of you don't mind the pins, and that's totally cool, man. But if you're the one that hates the wobbly joints or, you know, the gummy feel, then you should not hate pinless. You should advocate for pinless too, because that is the cure for these wobbly joints and gummy joints and stuff like that, you know, you would complain about. So I'm being real with you, especially when you run into a QC issue like this Homecoming Spider-Man I have here, where the pin is not even plugged in to the socket right here all the way, which it just sucks. And I tried boiling it up. You know, I got the tools to fix it. I've run into this issue many times, not just with Marvel Legend Hasbro figures, but with NECA figures too and other companies. And, you know, most of the time it's fixed. But something like this where, you know, look at the socket right there. There's just so much excess plastic. I try to get it out and it's just so thick. It's so hard. I couldn't do anything about it. So I'm stuck with this figure having the pin poking out like that. So that, you know, that sucks. So that's why I advocate for pinless tech, because it avoids those freaking QC issues. You know, pinless isn't new. Companies like Mattel have done it before, I believe, with their Motu Classics line. Toy Biz did it with their Spider-Man Classic series before Marvel Legends started. Hell, if you want to take it way, way back, Hasbro even did it with their O-Ring G.I. Joe line when they had some pinless knees. Granted, they were single jointed, but, you know, it's all about the molds being fused and stuff. So they want to make it sound like they're the first to innovate this, but, you know, really where it comes down to is just they are trying to standardize it as far as a retail mass offering, you know what I mean? Besides improving, you know, their QC on the joints. Like I said, they committed to it. They should follow through with it with the rest of their figures. If they're going to have pins, let it be a solid color, because if it's something like the Webman figure where you get blue where it's supposed to be red, you know, that's just annoying. Even a better example is this Future Foundation Spider-Man. Look at that, white pins, black. It looks awful. So, you know, if it's solid, it's fine. I think some of you will agree with me on this, and some of you may not. You know, sometimes these pins can look very ugly, so I made my valid points on why I advocate for pinless joints. So please feel free to timestamp whatever conversation you want to talk about during the video in the comment section below, and we'll chat about it. But yeah, this Spider-Man figure, such a fun figure to pose. Number 5 is the Retro Wave Rhino, which I absolutely love. The gray is so much better than the BAF. I love the light tone gray. Then you have the darker bits, you know, highlighted throughout the figure. It's just a better version than the BAF. And the head sculpts are so much better than the BAF too. I like that they filled in the holes from the BAF, because that one had an option to put shoulder pads on. This guy is always fun to put in these running charging style poses. One thing I love that the BAF didn't have is the rhino eyes on the mask. So I love that. It just looks so good. That glossy jet black paint makes it really stand out. Man, look at that head sculpt, dude. That thing is so fierce. Oh, so nice. Love the grinning teeth. This is so much better. Yeah, I like the details on the horns there too. Here's the other alternate head without the grin. Man, this face sculpt is absolute money, man. Another reason why this one is better than the BAF. Again, more options. You get the alternate hands. You get gripping hands this time. You could just have him hold Spider-Man like that. This is just great, and this Rhino's a ton of fun. Coming in at number 4, we have the King in Black 2-pack Venom, and wow, I love this figure. It makes me sad that I couldn't include it in my top 10 comic list, but I don't like to repeat characters. I already had the Omega Red body Venom on there, and that is one I wanted way more than this. When they introduced this movie Venom body, in the back of my head, I'm like, sure, they're probably gonna make a comic style Venom off this body, but I wanted the Omega Red body mold more. So I didn't really know I wanted a comic version on this body as much as I do now. Having it in hand, I'm like, wow, he looks absolutely impressive. And they put the holes there for the wings, but we'll get to that. But still, just, you know, getting that classic look, of Venom. It looks so good. I love the head sculpt. I don't know which head sculpt I love more. I love this one, just a plain smile, and then I love the one with the tongue out. I love them both. I don't know which one I love more. They're so good. The head is really sturdy on this one. I do like that. It pops out nicely, pops in nicely, but for some reason this one is so loose. Anyone has that problem with this head on the body? This figure is absolutely impressive top to bottom. My only issue was the feet. They reused the Venom movie feet, and I don't like those toes. It just doesn't fit with the comic style look of Venom. And they should have just stuck to the traditional triangular shoe look. Man, I missed out on the Anthony Customs Venom feet sale. I should have jumped on them when I had the chance. Damn. They look so much better like that. And then we got the wings, which should have been interchangeable between him and Noel. Like, this thing is just absolutely insane. And it's not reused from the Sauron wings, which some people suspected. It's not. It's totally new. And my God, it looks insane. Again, the wingspan is impressive. If I just zoom out here. This is big enough to be my centerpiece for my Venomverse display, which I'm going to have like 2 centerpieces in my Venomverse display. I'm going to have this guy and then Noel. So, wow. I'm definitely going to have him hung up to the wall, making him look like he's flying. But he is just so impressive and has that nice posability that you would want in a Venom figure, despite not having, butterfly joints and such. This is an amazing figure. I love this pack. I really do. This is one of the best 2-packs that Marvel Legends came out with last year. So this Venom is amazing. Enough said. At number 3, again, I just want to say these are not in number order. Number 1 is number 1. I'm just numbering them as we go along to keep track of everything. So we have the Retro Iron Man modular armor, and the modular armor Iron Man is my favorite armor ever. I love this. This is very Marvel vs. Capcom inspired. For me, this is like in my Marvel vs. Capcom roster. And I love all the new additions. They gave him, good accessory selection. So this is a new head with the mouth open right there. This was reused before from last year's Ursa Major wave, and we even get a Tony Stark mullet head. It doesn't get more 90s than this. So yeah, that looks great. My man's got the Eddie Guerrero Latino heat look going on. And you get some new accessories with this guy, which makes me extremely happy. So you get this spiked up repulsor blast, and yeah, that looks pretty cool. Besides it being warped, I gotta fix this up. But yeah, man, I just love those new inclusions. And this one, they actually gave him a new torso, which you can plug this effect into. Same as you saw with the War Machine before. And this has a kind of deeper crevice there. So this is gonna plug in like that. So I like that, man. When they do repaints but add some new parts, like whether it's accessories that were needed before or a new torso, man, I appreciate that. That is excellent. To add something like this, give it some more flair. But come on, man, let's face it, the best thing about it, the main highlight, is the freaking proton cannon. I mean, this thing looks absolutely incredible. This, man, when they do accessories like this, it makes me extremely happy. This is so Marvel vs. Capcom inspired. I love it. I just absolutely love it. The paint job came out great. You know, the sculpting came out amazing. The only thing is the blast effect, which was pretty cheap. I mean, it's just that little thing right there. You got some other ports which you could fill up, and we can do that now. And to get a bigger blast radius, you could plug more blast effects in those ports, and there you go. It's not going to be much, but it's better than nothing. It should have come with a much wider blast radius and have another stand. Like this is holding the cannon. There should have been another stand to hold the effect, so that way it doesn't drag down. But yeah, I mean, it's doable. I just switched up some colors to give it some different color contrast, but oh my god, it still looks awesome. It's a fun toy, and I don't think the $44.99 price tag was bad at all on this, because I've shopped for Proton Cannon 3D models, and let me tell you, man, they were going for 40 or 45 or way more than that. So for $45 to get a Proton Cannon and the figure, it's a way better deal for me, because I didn't want to spend 40 something bucks on a 3D model render, because I passed on the Mafex Iron Man, so I wasn't going to get that one. But since they announced this, you know, I waited out for this one, because yeah, I would have spent 45 bucks if they never came out with this. But for 45 bucks, man, I mean, $25 for the figure, and then what, $20 for the accessory? I'll take that, man. I will take that. That's fine for me, instead of just paying 45 bucks or more on just, you know, a proton cannon by itself. So, damn, man, this just looks so good. Look at the sculpting to this. It's just so beautiful. Top to bottom, all around. This is just so nice. This accessory's goated. And now we're down to the last two, and this was hard for me to pick my number one because I keep going back and forth with these two, but something always brings me back to this Captain America. I mean, this is my number one here. Definitely. Now that I look at it, he just has that look. He has that Captain America look. You know, putting my favoritism aside, being that he's my favorite Avenger, it's just the repaint just came out so good on this one. But that's not to take away from this Hulk. So, yeah, Captain America is my number one. We'll put him off to the side for now. Let's talk about this Hulk for a second, because he is, my God, he is absolutely amazing. And to be honest with you, I wasn't big on the head sculpts at first when he was first revealed, you know, especially this one, but it grew on me. It really did. Now, I don't like the whole, I'm still not a fan of the lip sculpt here. It just definitely looked like he has a zucchini for a lip. So, it's time for him and Black Widow to play hide the zucchini there. Yeah, I don't know, man. But, like I said, it grew on me. It really did, because this Paul Harding head sculpt is just godlike. I do like the other one better. This is my favorite one right here. So, I'm just going to pop this on, because I do love this head sculpt a lot more. And I did feature this on my top 20 best Marvel Legends of 20 years. It's everything about it screams Hulk. The eyes are raging, and that's important for me. Get those eyes right. And for the longest, this was my favorite Hulk. So I just love the green on this. This bright green brings me back to the old Toy Biz vintage figure, that kind of lime green look. The only thing is the pants weren't painted enough for my liking, and that's what this 20th anniversary Hulk brings. And sorry if I'm moving my camera around a lot, but yeah, you see how they painted, you know, the tattered parts. We didn't get that with this. So if this paint job was on this will definitely be my favorite one. But I just love the contrast, the color contrast right here on the chest, on the deltoid muscles, the biceps, the forearms, the hands. It's there, you know, little on the back right there on the top portion of the back. But man, this is so freaking good. And one thing I love is putting that torn white shirt that came with that 2-pack Hulk with this one. He just looks so much better. Man, I love this. And I wasn't a fan of the price of this one at first. I really wasn't. That 44, I think it was like 41 to 44 bucks, something like that. Yeah, I did not buy this full price. Hell no. I was against it. So I did catch them on a sale for 30 bucks because I believe that is the best price for the. I mean, the Hulk body molds were $30 in deluxe sets. Red Hulk, Compound Hulk. Who else? I'm missing the Gray Hulk, maybe. Yeah. So $30 is the appropriate price tag for a deluxe, especially for the Hulk body. But for 44 bucks, even with the additional accessories, man, I still think it was too much. But he did come with some fun accessories. So he did come with the 2 heads, and he did come with gripping hands as well. So that's important. And one cool thing was the ground impact base right here. I love this. This is amazing. I love the way it's sculpted. I love the effects here. And another thing I really had fun with was this battle damage Mandroid head, which looks pretty freaking cool. I like the wash they gave it right there. It's got some nice rust to it. It's even got like a shattered look on the visor. So what I did with this was just put it on one of my Mandroids right there, so that it looks like it has a special ranking, like Captain of my Mandroids or something like that, you know? Even though this color fits more for AIM, and I remember many years ago at a San Diego Comic-Con, they had a Mandroid and an AIM deco, so I'm surprised they never came out with that. So I'd still like to see that done to balance out the battle between your shield agents and the AIM soldiers, so you can have a mech versus mech to balance out the battle there. But yeah, this adds some more to the fun factor. I don't think it needed the base and the backdrop. I think they could have cut that out for the 20th anniversary and give us some more meaningful accessories, you know what I mean? This is the best Hulk body ever made, in my opinion. And one thing I would love to see them do is, make the butterfly joints be able to move forward, because they range back real nice. But going forward, they just stop right there. The main reason is because I've been dying to pose a Hulk to perform his signature thunderclap maneuver. But yeah, this Hulk is epic. And now let's talk about my number 1 repaint, which is the Marvel Legends 20th anniversary Captain America. And he's glorious. He's absolutely glorious. They give him a lot, man. They gave him a lot of accessories, which makes me happy. And overall new color scheme, and they added some shading on the paint deco, so that is beautiful. I mean, you get a nice wash there on the torso. You even get it on the scales right there. You can see how nice the scales look. See how much detail paint adds to the sculpt. So beautiful. And you get it on the back too, all around pretty much, the gloves and the boots. So nice. You just don't get it on the legs. He still has the pins, which is a bummer, because this would have been the perfect time to update him pinless, because eventually they're gonna have to do it anyway, right? But speaking of pins, since we talk about pins before, I'm always having something to say about pins. I hear some people say that because of the pinless tech upgrades that it takes away from the paint budget. And that could be farther from the truth, man. I mean, even with pins, we still weren't getting paint with them. So no, man, stop. They're not detracting from the paint. And I'm not entirely mad the way they did this. Like, I love the add-on effects. You get this, like, clashing style kind of effect. And then you get the electrocuted shield effect that looks really sweet. And then you get the ricochet bullets. Again, this is awesome. I love it. It's something new. But I think they should have executed it differently. Like, the way I would have done it, because this flip the clip system is the absolute worst. I wish they'd done it in a way where the shield logo right here is interchangeable, at least where the red stripe begins, right there. I wish they made that interchangeable, so that way, if you want to plug in effects, you can. That would be the best way to do it. That would be really nice in the future if they do it too, because we could get a nice unibeam effect to do a nice dual maneuver with Captain America and Iron Man, or recreate like a Civil War scene with them. That would be really dope. Wish they had the straps. Ugh. Because these clips always break. You get a bunch of hands with this guy, man. Like, you get the fist, you get a pointing finger, you get a salute hand, and you get 2 splayed out jazz hands, which are beneficial. And I've seen some people use this for the Daredevil, the new Daredevil on the Renew Your Vows body. And I gotta say, man, yeah, that looks good. I do like that. And here's his default head, and I just love the way it looks. It's so classic, almost Kirby-esque to me, and it just looks great. What the hell's up with this powdery shit on his head? I don't know why. What the hell? I don't know why it looks so powdery. That's weird. The unmasked head sculpt is so nice. He comes with his folded down mask and the Steve Rogers head, sculpted by the talented Paul Harding. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this for Steve Rogers. Hands down, the best Steve Rogers head sculpt they've ever put out. I love the folded mask touch. So nice. Man, this is beautiful. It makes me want to display him just like this. Because I'm not going to lie, I probably love this face way more than this one. And that's not to say that this is a bad one at all. This is great. I normally love having my Captain Americas displayed with the mask on. But this is the one figure that makes me want to display him without the mask. Oh, man, it looks great. If you don't want to deal with the holes on the shield or filling it up, you know, you can get another shield. The only tricky thing is you're going to have to find a blue that matches this kind of blue, because a lot of the other Captain Americas were darker. But, I mean, the Marvel Now cap is a good one. But bringing in the 80 years cap, they're both beautiful, but this is my flavor of blue for Captain America. Now, some advancements Captain America needs, and I probably spoke about this in the past, is he definitely needs a double ball peg at the neck to get good rotation at the neck. He definitely needs a ball jointed waist. You know, this is a man that needs to utilize his torso with shield movement for sure. You know, so ball jointed waist, you know, swivel at the upper torso. That is something he needs. Or even a ball jointed waist with the ab crunch. I'll take that. Definitely, probably the most important thing is butterfly joints. You know, shield wielding characters definitely need that. He needs the range. That's one thing that the face-off cap was a lot of fun to pose around, is because he had those butterfly joints. So Captain America definitely needs that. Toe joints not a must for me, but you know, if they add them, I will welcome that, no doubt. But man, I would love to see a Marvel Legends G.I. Joe crossover. Like Marvel Legends did a crossover with Transformers with their X-Jet. But I would love to see a crossover with G.I. Joe, because I want to see the G.I. Joe team tackle a Captain America figure. Oh, they would knock it out of the ballpark. They would give us probably the best domestic Captain America figure ever. Right now, this is my number one, but that team just, they know how to get it done. And, you know, Lenny's a great designer, so... And him and his team just kill it with that G.I. Joe series. Oh, man, can we just have Lenny on the Marvel Legends team? Like, oh, man, I would love to see the stuff he would put up, man. But yeah, I'm just imagining that now, and I just think that Captain America is the perfect character if we're going to do a crossover with that series. That would be really freaking cool. So, I don't know. What do you guys think for some Marvel Legends G.I. Joe Classified Series crossover ideas? You could get some AIM bats, which I plan on customizing a few bat troopers in some AIM decals, and that would look really freaking cool. Yeah, man, I can't put this figure down. And that wraps things up. Okay, I promise this is the last top 10 video of 2022 for me. I know I milked them, but that's because they're a lot of fun to do, and I always enjoy our conversations in the chat. Now I kick it back to you. What was one of your favorite Marvel Legends redos this year that came out better this attempt than previous ones? You don't have to do a top 10, just list some of your favorites. Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thanks for watching another top 10 video. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, at xmanny87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace, peace.